WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500.
Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold.
Is House Calls on Wheels. And if you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping, or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
Tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. for the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneurs Network radio show featuring Ike Engelbaum. Ike does an array of interviews with people that make the aging process go smoothly. And for the Entrepreneurs Network segment, Ike interviews up-and-coming entrepreneurs. If you're looking to start your own business, Ike has some great advice to offer you to get your dreams of starting a home-based business a reality. If you'd like to talk to Ike Engelbaum for more information, call 313-929-6105. That's 313-929-6105. So tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. to hear Ike Engelbaum on the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneur Network radio show.
Hey, and welcome to Michigan weather and all seasons in one day. I can't believe it. We're talking mid-April, and it seems like it's mid-January. But guess what? Tomorrow it's going to be possibly mid-June, and then who knows, Thursday may be back to winter weather. One thing that Michigan can pride itself on, we have all 4 seasons in one day. So looking at the bright side of aging, as this program is titled, just look up in the sky. The sun is coming out soon. And the truth of it is that it doesn't matter so much what's around you, it's what's inside you that many times makes the difference between enjoying life and feeling miserable about it. We try to bring out the positive aspects of aging, and I get a kick out of a lot of people that I run into that I've known over the years, and I ask them, well, what's going on? And they tell me, well, I'm retired. I said, no, you're just refired, not retired. But the truth of it is, as we age, our bodies are not quite what they used to be. And I don't know of anybody that I've grown up with or that's on in years that hasn't dealt with pain. And I'm really excited about having Dr. Traci Stein on, who's written a phenomenal book and actually is titled The Everything Guide to Integrative Pain Management. And the subtitle is Discover New Treatments, Regulate Symptoms, Improve Your Mood, Decrease Your chronic stress, and then actually learn about your body more. And she is sharp enough to have combined both conventional and alternative therapies for managing pain. Her approach is collaborative and multidisciplinary, emphasizing out-of-the-box thinking. She also emphasizes that the patient usually has the best outcomes when they understand that both health and illness are multifaceted, and thus benefit from the multi-pronged approach. Think of each area of one's life and each healing tool as the spokes of a wheel. Each spoke contributes support in a unique way. Dr. Stein says when one or more spokes are weaker or out of balance, it is much harder to feel well as well. Well, Dr. Stein, welcome to the program.
Thanks so much for having me.
You certainly have got the right credentials, and I'm very impressed with your approach. Since I'm a pharmacist, I've been trained in what we call the conventional system, and it's embarrassing to say, but in my training, which goes back to last century.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's the bright side of aging, is that I can actually talk about centuries. How many people do you know that can do that, huh? Anyway, I've been trained the conventional way of medications, that although at one time in our pharmacy curriculum we used to have a course called pharmacognosy, and I'll never forget that one because it was so out of the usual in the sense that we actually had one professor. His name was Professor Bailey. He was skinny as a toothpick and was promoting the whole aspect of the natural way of actually managing life, and he brought in all kinds of plants and roots, and believe it or not, we had to actually taste some of the roots, and part of the test at the end to graduate or get out of his class was we had to identify which root it was, and then needless to say, most of my pharmacy colleagues were looking at each other. What the heck is this guy talking about? So fast forward to 2018, and hey, Dr. Bailey seemed to know what he was talking about. So
sounds like a great class.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. I still remember the little different episodes. Now, you certainly have tremendous qualifications, and you certainly are multifaceted in your discussion. You, according to the information I got from you, are able to discuss the pros and cons of alternative treatment for chronic pain, when to switch to doctors, and how to explore complementary approaches to better health. Do you want to address that?
Sure. That's a kind of a big question. I'll do my best.
Okay.
So, basically with regard to the multi-pronged approach is, just kind of like what you were referencing, is that, good health as we get older, especially, it has to really be a mind, body, spirit approach, I think. I really liked what you said earlier on about how what matters, it matters more what's going on inside of you than what's going on around you. Mm-hmm. And I think an integrative or complementary medicine approach can be helpful because a lot of times as we get older and our bodies change and they don't feel quite the same, or we might have pain, we notice that medications alone or devices or surgery alone may not be sufficiently helpful. And even if they manage the pain well enough, they may not do enough to contribute to our overall well-being, right? Because good health and feeling good about yourself is more than just the absence of a problem. So in the book, I talk about how people can draw from the strengths of different approaches. So like just as an example, for somebody who has back pain, they may find that they don't want to take medication or that the medication only does part of the work, but that they really have been very sedentary. And we know from the research that being sedentary is linked to a risk of greater pain and also premature death, even if you have other good health behaviors. So that might mean getting moving, either informally on your own or taking a yoga class or working with a physical therapist. It means adjusting your diet to keep your body and mind feeling really, really good and as comfortable as they can be. It means having some sort of, I think, sense of personal meaning or spiritual connection, and this may or may not be through a religious community, but it means knowing kind of why you're here. And that gets people farther than most people realize. It helps you to be resilient in the face of stress and makes your daily life better. Mm-hmm. Knowing that maybe trying acupuncture is going to be especially helpful for you, or seeing a good chiropractor, or, talking to your doctor about tweaks to your diet, or considering a supplement, and collaborating with your doctor so that you're both on the same page and that they're in the loop, and you make sure that nothing you're doing in the complementary medicine realm is interfering with whatever you're doing in the conventional realm. Mm-hmm. So I know it's kind of a long-winded way of saying that.
Well, it's a complicated question, and I just wondered, how do you get along with the conventional medical doctors? Do they think you're sort of an outcast, or they say, "Hey, she's a pretty sharp person"? What happens?
Well, you can't please everybody.
Yes.
It's good to let go of that. But I get a lot of referrals actually from doctors, which is good. And when you're treating pain or medical illness, my personal feeling is that you really have to be collaborative. You don't want providers who aren't willing to talk to each other. That can just make the treatment much more effective if people talk to each other and if they're willing to collaborate. I do remember with one patient this was a teenage patient, and talking to her pediatrician who said, "You're really into vitamins, aren't you?" And I thought, this woman is really not receptive to whatever I have to say. But, for the most part, you can tell that, everybody's in a different place of readiness to talk about health in a broader way. Mm-hmm. But, as you're talking about, wellness is just as important as symptom management.
Mm-hmm. Now, have you had a strong training in psychology and hypnosis, or is this something you just picked up along the way?
Well, I'm a licensed psychologist, so I have a PhD in clinical psychology, and I also have a master's degree in public health, and I'm certified in clinical hypnosis. So, I did do a lot of formal training. I took some additional coursework in nutrition and exercise just because they're areas of interest to me. But, then my own interest broadened after my formal training. And, people tend to become a little bit more specialized over time, I think.
Now, let me ask about your psychology talent, so to speak. What is the psychology of pain?
So, pain, most people don't realize it's not just what's going on in your nerves. It's a mind-body phenomenon and a brain-body phenomenon. And so pain is very responsive to a lot of mind-body approaches. So cognitive behavioral therapy and relaxation training, these are really important. We know that when people are depressed and anxious, their pain becomes more severe and their coping decreases. And it makes it harder for them to do the things they need to do to start to feel better. Mm-hmm. We also know that when people are in pain, they tend to be more anxious and depressed. So it's really important, I think, when you're treating pain, that you treat the whole person. And so psychologists who are well-trained in pain management, I'm fellowship-trained in pain management, so I'm formally trained in that as well, that we really do have an important role to play in helping people to feel better, including helping them to make the healthy lifestyle changes. And as you and your listeners probably know, it's really hard to make 20 changes at once. So helping people pick one or two to start with and breaking these goals into small, manageable steps make it more likely that people will stick with the changes.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm just curious about the initial visit. Someone comes to see you. Do you want to give us a scenario of what happens? I mean, do you start when you go to a conventional medical doctor, they have you list your prior medical condition, whether you've had surgery and what have you. Do you have an equivalent type of a questionnaire before you get started?
Definitely. I actually have a really extensive intake that I ask people to fill out and send to me before they come in, and I take time and review it and make notes. So I want to know what their physical history is, what their emotional history and health has been like. I want to know what things they've tried in the past, whether it's conventional or something alternative, and what things have helped and what haven't. And I also want them to think about what other changes they'd like to see come out of their therapy. So, for example, sometimes when people are in pain, they realize that their family relationships become more strained. So if that's an issue, we want to, work on that or discuss that as well. If people are saying, I realize that, I have a hard time communicating my needs to other people, we want to help them work on that too, because if you're in pain or your mobility is limited, you really have to learn to be more respectful but direct in communicating what you hope other people can help you with, so that you're not feeling like you're unable to do things on your own, and so that you're not feeling resentful when people don't know what you need.
Mm-hmm. When you meet some of these people, and you made reference that you get referrals, do you get the referral from someone who the doctor, quite frankly, feels that they've done as much as they can, so they're in severe pain, or is it the middle of the road type where there are some people that just are not responding to their medications properly? Where are they when you get a referral?
So it really depends. So sometimes people find me on their own by Googling, but a doctor might very well refer somebody because they feel like, hey, I've tried everything I can, and we're just not helping you. You're not feeling enough better. Mm-hmm. Or a doctor might be treating the pain, but see that somebody is really struggling with anxiety or struggling with, adhering to their prescribed regimen. Mm-hmm. And so that's where I can come in. Or, somebody might want to learn hypnosis so that when they feel a pain spike coming on, they can get themselves into a calmer and more physically comfortable state. Your mind is much more powerful than most people realize. And the literature on hypnosis for pain management is actually pretty good.
Well, I love your book, The Everything Guide to Integrative Pain Management, and it's my kind of book. Nice big letters, big book, and it's an easy read, and it's about 300 pages, and you have it broken down not only for the different approaches like we just talked about hypnosis and also various forms of therapy, but you actually have a questionnaire right in the book where people can fill out and do sort of a self-assessment as well. Do you do telephone coaching at all, or is it all eyeball to eyeball?
I'm branching out a little bit. I've actually been focused more on getting the word out so people can learn these strategies and find a provider near them. So I have done some distance consultation before, but I'm kind of trying to get the message out in a broader way, so I'm seeing fewer patients these days. But I have done video and phone as well as in person.
Yeah, I see. And the first name is spelled with an I at the end, Traci Stein, Dr. Traci Stein. Would you like to give out an email address or a telephone number in case someone wants to have a phone consultation, so to speak?
So my website is the easiest way to find me, and it's www.Dr. Traci Stein. So it's DrTraciStein.com. And there will be links to other resources as well on my website.
Well, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Are you able
Likewise.
to stick around for a few more minutes? Or
Sure.
All right. We'll take a brief break and we'll have some wrap-up comments, so to speak. So don't you go away, all right? We'll be right back.
Is House Calls on Wheels. And if you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
And if you would like to meet with me and also our next guest, who is a member of our entrepreneur group, and appropriately enough, our next guest, Chris Belisario, is an integrative health coach. So we're staying on theme for the hour, and actually Chris is involved in a lot of the areas that you, Dr. Stein, have been involved with, psychological and hypnotic type approach.
Oh, wow.
So we're trying to stay on theme. Your book, The Everything Guide to Integrative Pain Management, is really a complete sort of compendium. I learned that word yesterday. Thought I'd use it in a sentence. You not only go through the conventional type of approaches to pain management, but you make reference to biofeedback as well as hypnosis. What is your opinion about biofeedback, and what is it?
So biofeedback is literally feedback from the computer telling you when your body is producing a desired response, such as increased relaxation or decreased muscle tension. And basically, this conditions your brain and your body to be able to get into those states more quickly over time. So, one thing people are surprised to learn is that when they are stressed out, their blood vessels constrict, and the temperature in their fingertips will decrease dramatically. And so there are these little, there's a tiny little thermometer sensor that we put on somebody's fingertip. It's completely painless, and they can see on the computer screen that as they talk about something stressful that happens, say, during the day, that their temperature will go down, might even be like 10 or 15 degrees sometimes. And as they practice relaxation breathing or meditation or guided imagery or self-hypnosis, you can actually watch together as their temperature increases because the blood vessels relax. And so it really does train people to do this more and more naturally on their own, outside of the office.
And you can actually see it graphically on the screen.
You can.
That's I'm always amazed by that. I went to my chiropractor a while back because I have an issue with my lower back pain, and it was amazing. I think what's called the Prothera. It's and he took a wand down the spine, and I was looking at the screen, and you could see the inflammation on the screen, and sure enough, that's where the pain was.
Wow.
So that's exactly what I said. Wow. So then, have you found that using biofeedback and with the psychology, depending on the patient's condition, has actually helped reduce the medications someone might take for pain?
It really varies person to person, but you do see that people not only can create greater comfort in their bodies, but they can decrease the stress around it, which is equally important. So, it's very often that people, especially if you go to an integrated pain center, at your local medical center, they might offer biofeedback, and you will find that it is something that people tend to have good results with.
I hate to sound negative. Unfortunately, we have a limited amount of time.
Sure.
But are there certain people that should not use imagery or hypnosis?
That's a great question. For the most part, these are tools that are very safe, and they're abundantly available, via apps or downloads, so people don't need to see a provider to use these approaches. Now, if somebody is actively psychotic and doesn't have a really firm grip on reality, or somebody is so anxious or so depressed, that's when they really should see a provider. These things shouldn't take the place of seeing a healthcare provider when you need one. And, that provider may or may not think it's appropriate for you to use things that tend to kind of separate you from the day-to-day normal awareness for the time being. But for most people, the vast majority, it's perfectly safe.
Well, that's wonderful. It's nice to leave on a positive note, and hopefully you didn't hypnotize me because I still have to do the rest of the show.
I see.
And good luck in making people's lives less painful. So
Thank you. Same to you. Thank you, Ike.
Okay, and I only have enough time for my favorite parting thought for the bright side of aging, which is yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with the bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other and achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, entrepreneursnetworkofmichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me.
Is House Calls on Wheels. And if you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
Tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. for the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneurs Network radio show featuring Ike Engelbaum. Ike does an array of interviews with people that make the aging process go smoothly. And for the Entrepreneurs Network segment, Ike interviews up-and-coming entrepreneurs. If you're looking to start your own business, Ike has some great advice to offer you to get your dreams of starting a home-based business a reality. If you'd like to talk to Ike Engelbaum for more information, call 313-929-6105. That's 313-929-6105. So tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. to hear Ike Engelbaum on the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneur Network radio show.
And welcome. Tomorrow, if you guys are available to have coffee and donuts with us, you are welcome at the Level 1 Bank, 37100 Woodward, which is in Bloomfield Hills, southeast corner of Woodward and Big Beaver. We're going to have a speaker who will help make you smarter when as you walk out than when you walked in. We have a lot of fun getting to know each other. The Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan has been meeting, believe it or not, in different locations for over 40 years. So we must be doing something right. I'm really excited about a lot of the people I've gotten to know. And if you're looking to start or build a business, by all means, show up. The price is right. It's free. And you get free donuts and coffee. And our guest, Chris Belisario is actually a giving type person, and aside from being a certified integrative nutrition health coach, she brings in tangerines or oranges so that you can stay healthy as well as smarter. And I really cannot stress the importance that if you're serious about wanting to start a business, you should get out to, as I'd like to think, our organization, but there are other networking groups that have similar type formats, but ours is the only one, in my opinion, who guarantees that whatever the membership fee that you pay for the year, you will get more than your money back. And if you're not satisfied after being with us at our meetings, at the end of the year, whatever membership fee schedule you decide, you will get your money back if you have come to at least 80% of our meetings. It's very hard to give people money back if they don't show up. Only for the money. So far, without making up stories, I've never had to give any money back because we have an opportunity to find out what each of us does, what each person in the room is looking to do. And if you need financial help as well as how to present yourself properly, we have a whole array of topics that are bound to help you on your career path. And we've had people come over the years who frankly did not really have a career path. And that's a decision that we help you make. And once you've made it and you have a business idea and it makes sense, and you may need money to grow it, we also have financial resources available to you. So I've thought of every aspect of it, and I'm always open to suggestions as to how we can help you. And we have our toll-free number, 888-489-8980, or check out our website, entrepreneursnetworkofmichigan.com. And if that's too complicated for you to write down, how about the initials, ENO Michigan.com? But I still like the old-fashioned way of human being to human being communication. By phone, of course, it's 888-489-8980. And if you want to see us in person, by all means, on Thursday mornings, 9:15 to 10:30, you can get a chance to mingle and rub elbows with some very exciting and knowledgeable people. And one of our newer members is Chris Belisario, who wears multiple hats. She's a very talented lady. She's into being able to put flyers together, graphics and stuff, and she's helped me tremendously. Officially, she's a certified integrative nutrition health coach with Next Century Wellness, and she also does event planning and has helped me in the meetings that we try to put together. So, Chris, you must be a very tired young lady with all that stuff. Are you tired, or are you able to speak?
Well, actually, as a matter of fact, a lot of people my age would be probably tired, exhausted, fatigued is the common word. But somehow I'm blessed with good energy.
Yes, you sure are. You just sparkle up the room just from your appearance. There are certain people who exude a lot of their personality just by their demeanor, and that's really one of the keys in entrepreneurship, is that people want to meet people that they feel welcome to be around, and you're one of those people that's just a delight to have around. And as you know, Chris, our format at our meetings is that we have a 60-second elevator pitch, and I just wanted to give you the opportunity to do your 60-second elevator pitch. So pretend we're at the meeting tomorrow morning, and it's your turn to give your 60-second elevator pitch. Chris, what do you say?
Hello, I'm Chris Belisario, and as a matter of fact, I am a certified integrative nutrition health coach. My company is Next Century Wellness, and I do individual and group coaching. I promote healthy events, and I go to all kinds of networking events, Entrepreneur Network and otherwise. I do wellness training, and right now my ask is I am seeking the opportunity to speak anywhere I can to enlighten people, educate people, and motivate people, most of all, to get healthier, while they can, sooner rather than later, before you get that terrible diagnosis.
Mm-hmm. You know what a personal trainer is, and of course, coaches in sports. But what is a health coach?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because I continue to meet people on a regular basis that ask me, what is a health coach? And it is a newer profession. It's been around maybe 15 years or so, as we know it today. And compared to a doctor or a lawyer that's been around for centuries, that's another story. But people still don't know what health coaching is, and it's catching on very fast. A health coach actually educates and motivates, most of all, their clients to reach their goals. That is, the client's goals, not the doctor's goals, not my goals for them, but their goals. So, unlike a nutritionist or a dietitian, doctors often will send their patients to a nutritionist or a dietitian, who then prescribes what their diet should be. And they dictate, you might say, here, do this. Whereas a health coach says, what are your goals? How do you want to live your life? Not just with food and nutrition, but in all aspects of your life. And so a health coach works on the premise that you basically know what to do. You just need some more specific information for your particular life, and most of all, the motivation to honor your own commitments, to reach your own goals, including nutrition and exercise, maybe de-stressing, and all of this may be revolving around relationships, career, your purpose, your spirituality, much like the prior doctor said on the prior half-hour show that you had today. So you need to take back your power, claim your responsibility for your own health and life, because if you don't claim that the issues, the ailments that you have were caused by you, then you cannot undo them. So it all starts with education and what you want to get out of life. That is sometimes a big challenge for people.
Why did you decide to become a health coach?
Well, actually, this goes way back. When I was a kid, I had a dream or a vision to live to be 100 years old. So, I guess I've always been an overachiever, but and then actually as a teenager, my vision was reinforced because there was the be all you can be, join the army, and it was an ad campaign that was all over the place. And so it became a milestone, and I actually had kind of a traumatic experience years ago when I hit a milestone age. We all know what those milestone ages are. And it was traumatic for me because I refused to think about going over the hill, being over the hill. I didn't want to ever think of me as being over the hill. I'm me, I'm young, I feel young, and I didn't want to think that I was old. So now even when I get older, every time I get a year older, I think, okay, I'm going to push it back beyond 100. I'm going to live, how much longer I'm going to have to live in order to not be going downhill. So I decided to try to optimize my health sooner rather than later, simply as a strategy. Before, it would be harder later on. By recognizing or acknowledging that every tiny little abnormality or symptom in my body, if I recognized all of those, because they're all your body's warning signs or signals that something is wrong that needs to be addressed. So I took what I think is a rather novel approach, and I wrote down each symptom on a 3x5 card, and then, and possible solutions. And then slowly through the years, I have been cleaning up my diet and changing my habits in order to get rid of many minor symptoms. I think I had over 30 symptoms originally.
Now, I noticed that you are a certified integrative nutrition health coach. Can you share with me what the course is all about? What were you being trained to help in terms of integrative nutrition? Is there best describe what are the topics that are addressed in your certification?
Okay, well, I went to the school. It's called the IIN, or Integrative Nutrition Health Program. And that school is based in New York. It was all online. I had over 400 hours of training. And they have two basic premises. The first premise is that what they call bio-individuality, and that is that everybody is unique. And so unlike some practitioners who one might go see, that they end up sometimes so routine in their treating of people that you feel like a number, and their procedures might be sometimes cookie cutter. A health coach has to look at each and every single person as a total individual, because what works for one person's poison is another person's cure, or one person's one person's nutritional supplement is not going to work for everybody, and so individuality, basically. And then the second premise is that a thing they call, there's primary and secondary foods. Okay, so secondary foods are the foods that feed us, that we eat, okay, and they nourish our bodies. And then primary foods are that which nourishes us, our being, our body, that's not what we eat, that's not food, such as relationships, and that could be your spouse or your family, okay, your community. And then the second one is that feeds us that we don't eat is career, or it could be your sense of purpose. The third one is exercise or movement, as I prefer to think of it as. And the last one is spirituality or religion, if that's what it means for you. So these four things all are primary foods, the school teaches. And these four things, actually, you may know of people who eat terribly, but yet they have not yet developed health problems. Why is that? Well, it might be that they have these other primary foods in check, in balance, better. Even if their diet is screwed up, their primary foods might be in balance. So that's why they're called primary foods. And then the secondary foods are certainly important. But if you eat perfectly, and I mean perfectly, whatever that means, then if you have these other things screwed up in your life, like your spouse beats you, or you hate your job, these kinds of things, you're going to have bad health, even if you eat perfectly. So an integrative approach, whether it's integrative medicine or integrative nutritional health coaching, either way, they encompass the whole body, as the woman said earlier, the doctor said earlier, mind, body, and spirit. And it's real, and people don't take the mind and the spirit stuff seriously enough, and how it truly does affect your health.
Well, it sounds very interesting, and also requires some more specific information. That tomorrow morning, Thursday, 9:15 to 10:30, you're going to be at our Entrepreneur Network meeting, so hopefully you can meet eyeball to eyeball to some of the listeners, so they can have an integrative approach, not only to health, but also they want to develop a career path to be successful. You're going to have all of that tomorrow, but right after this brief break, when we come back, Chris Belisario, we're going to be discussing the seminar that you'll be doing this Sunday at 1 o'clock out there in Rochester at the Municipal Park. So it sounds like an invigorating situation, and it's this weekend, Friday from 4 to 6, and Saturday, and as well as Sunday. And it's referred to as the Michigan Earth Day Fest. So there is more to come. Don't you dare miss out on it. We'll be right back.
House calls on wheels. And if you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation, or grocery shopping or run errands for you. Or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
Tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. for the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneurs Network radio show featuring Ike Engelbaum. Ike does an array of interviews with people that make the aging process go smoothly. And for the Entrepreneurs Network segment, Ike interviews up-and-coming entrepreneurs. If you're looking to start your own business, Ike has some great advice to offer you to get your dreams of starting a home-based business a reality. If you'd like to talk to Ike Engelbaum for more information, call 313-929-6105. That's 313-929-6105. So tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. to hear Ike Engelbaum on the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneur Network radio show.
And we're back. And we're back not only by myself, Ike Engelbaum, but Chris Belisario. And Chris is going to be at our Entrepreneur Network meeting tomorrow morning, so you can get to know her really well, because she's not only a pleasant person to look at, but also a pleasant person to be with. And she also brings in tangerines or oranges, depending on what mood she's in, and it's all good stuff. Now, this Sunday, if you want to learn more about how you can live green, live well, and actually rethink of what you are doing that may not be the best for you. You're going to have all kinds of exhibitors, and Chris is going to be speaking at 1 o'clock. So tell us the dates are this Friday and Saturday. What are they, Chris?
Yes, actually, they have a lot of things going on this weekend. And one thing that's really cool to know is that the first 500 people each day that show up, 500 on Friday, 500 on Saturday, and 500 on Sunday, get a free goodie bag. Mm-hmm. And if you think ahead and you go online to the Michigan Earth Day Festival's website, which is miedf.com. That's M-I as in Michigan, E as in Edward, D as in dog, F as in Frank.com. If you go to that website and you check out their VIP admission, it's a great deal, because in the VIP admission bag, goodie bag, there are coupons in there for food and such that are worth more than you pay for it. So the VIP admission is $10, but there's more than $10 worth of benefit in the goodie bag.
Mm-hmm. And as far as the location, it's the Rochester Municipal Park, and it's at, is it correct, 600 Pine Street in Rochester, is that right?
Yes, and the admission and parking are free, F-R-E-E, free, yay. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a parade on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. That's going to be fun.
And you want to make a phone call, they can always call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. But you want to repeat the direct number for the information. You mentioned earlier it's 248, is it 887-5729, is that correct?
Well, that's my number if
Yeah.
anybody has any questions. And there's going to be over 100 exhibitors there, too, so it's a great place to shop.
I see, all right. So
And
if
free
anyone-
samples, yay.
And so then direct to you, Chris, is the 248-887-5729. Now you'll be speaking at 1 o'clock on health self-reliance, and I wondered what some of the topics might be. What does, first of all, health self-reliance mean?
Health self-reliance is what I'm calling it when I'm saying that if people take back their power, instead of giving up all their power to all the doctors or practitioners that they might go see all the time for whatever issues they have, if they instead take back their power and assume responsibility for their issues so that they start to learn a simple something as their own anatomy. Their own anatomy. So many people don't even understand what their own anatomy is. So that when you talk to doctors or alternative practitioners, then you'll have a clue as to what the doctor's talking about. Not only that, but you can learn through all kinds of resources. There's all kinds of meetup groups on Meetup. That's meetup.com, which is a really cool website. You can type in any category you're thinking about or interested in. I don't care whether it's bowling or walking dogs. And they have a whole lot of health-related and alternative-related type meetup groups. And that's where I learned a lot in my earlier years when I was trying to figure out my own issues. And
now, do you help people identify, there's the good news and the bad news. The good news is that we have more resources today than we ever had before. The bad news is there's so many different areas, it's overwhelming. As a health coach, do you guide people once you meet them as to what they can take personally to get control of their life? Is that part of your practice?
well, like I said, it all starts with what they want out of their life.
But
you know.
you help them identify what they want.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that's part of the initial assessment, and you said you have assessment type forms so that many times people come and they really don't know where to get started. So you've got forms to assist them to focus in on their particular situation. Is that correct?
Yes, it starts with a health history form that you fill out. It's one page, two-sided, and that serves as a basis and for the initial consultation in order to figure out where you're at right now, so that we can figure out where you need to go to reach your goals.
Well, that's the biggest problem that they say in life is to get started. People have difficulty getting started to start. Now, you've got a whole list of different areas you'll be talking about, including eating healthier on the run without deprivation. So you're going to give some specifics there as well on Sunday?
Yes, actually, I've got a lot of things that I planned, and whatever I don't get to talk about in the time frame that I'm given, actually the eating healthier on the run, actually I'm figuring I'm going to give a handout so that people can follow that, because it's always entertaining to see a speaker, but it's not always that you get something that you can take away other than, you know, being amused and entertained. So I want to have something concrete for people to have in their hot little hands so that they can go home and incorporate something in their life.
Well, that sounds perfect.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're plumb out of time. And if you want more information, why not show up tomorrow at the Level 1 Bank, 37100 Woodward, southeast corner of Woodward and Big Beaver, and we can consider your career path and a better health path so you can enjoy whatever money you make as an entrepreneur. Right now, I only have enough time for my favorite parting thought for this segment, which is if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500. This is WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit. Your